NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports.
A nice little gift there to start the ball game as they will begin things at the 40-yard line.
Ready. Right there in the middle. 50 striker. 3-3.
They go play action here on first down. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack. The start less than ideal as they already face a second and long. He'll look to throw. Being chased out left. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. I thought they were going to sack him there like they did on first down. Great coverage, but he found a way to move with his legs.
Yeah, his ability to take off. Not only did he get some yardage back, he got a little bit extra. Really helps him on third down. Makes it manageable now.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Nice job there forcing that incompletion. This is going to be a fun battle throughout this game. Watching him try to take away that area of the field.
They'll try and run for it. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on fourth. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down.
All right, Charles, we've spoken about this offense plenty, how great they've been all year. 9-0 now, into the back half of the season. Super Bowl favorites, without a doubt. I think everyone agrees on that. What do you think is the thing that most stands between them and a perfect?
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up third down. He had 3 of those sacks last week en route to being the AFC Defensive Player of the Week 1 right there. How do you block him now?
That's the question you think that they'd be able to answer. After having 3 the week before, you would make all the necessary adjustments in practice, but he's such an imposing force, he knows how to get to the quarterback anyway. Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
Yeah, they held him completely out of the end zone, just held him to a field goal. So they're not just hoping for a repeat here. They're hoping to do it even better. A shutout is their goal.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Tariq Woolen picks it.
And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different color jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think that'll be addressed loudly when those guys get to the sideline.
And they're usually loud and big. And he can't escape, and down he goes.
A tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains.
On third down, they're going to run for it here. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be fourth down. And they'll send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the second time. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive.
And, you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. It's going the other way, and they will take over at the 26-yard line. And they put it on the ground here on the second drive, and, of course, Charles, that follows drive number 1 where they had the INT.
Makes you wonder what's going on with this team, because a lot of times we can attribute it to nerves, but maybe it's a lack of focus. Maybe it is the preparation for the game. Maybe they just came into a little lackadaisical, because that's just not looking good at all. That's just not the football that we came here to see.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
Here's 2nd and 8. Escaping the pressure right. And he's going to hook up with his big tight end, complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. It'll go as a loss of 8 and a tough result there on 1st and goal.
Well, how about this? A fistful of sacks already. We're not even out of the first quarter yet. What an incredible start for this defense. If they keep this pace up, they could be looking at an all-time performance.
Rolling to his right.
Throwing out right here, caught by Olave.
And he will take this one in for a touchdown.
Chris Olave.
His 21st touchdown of the season.
And the Explorers use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And job 1 here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis.
22 yards on the catch and run, a first down. From the gun, he'll hand this off.
Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson eluding the pressure right. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is picked up by the defense. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45.
Hey, I'm all about defense forcing plays and getting takeaways. But an interception and 2 fumbles in their last 3 offensive possessions.
Time to readjust?
Yeah, you can't just give all the credit to the defense on that. They've got to look in the mirror and take a blame themselves and figure out how to not do it anymore.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. They'll roll him out right.
This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's 3rd down.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Sliding out of the pocket. This is caught inside the 15.
And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. And that's a gain of 6 on the 1st down run.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Looks like a 9-yard loss. And it also brings up 4th.
Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
So on 4th down, Sean McVay going to send out the field goal unit. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And this one is right through, and that will extend their lead even further.
So able to add on to their first half lead here, Charles, forcing the miscue with a fumble and then turning that into 3 points.
Yeah, and more than happy to accept any mistakes the other side is willing to make. No problem. You turn it over, we'll take that, and we'll use it to expand our lead.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. Dancing to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Another try after the 1st down sack. Jackson. The open man is Westbrook.
They need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard, is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
4th down, here's Jackson. Wide open receiver, complete. And now this is going to be close. The defense says they stopped him, and they did. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
The pass caught by Olave. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's brought down. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. He'll look to throw.
And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
He'll drop to throw. And this is going to be intercepted.
Daxton Hill picks it off.
Accelerating, and off he goes. The 20, 10, 5, and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10.
Here's a handoff out of the gun.
A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Now, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll check in with Jonathan Coachman from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play. On 2nd and 9, Jackson. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted.
Isaiah Simmons picking it off.
And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He'll buy some time right.
He completes it to Olave.
Touchdown!
Chris Olave
with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half.
And the Explorers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. In the 2nd quarter, and already his 2nd touchdown reception.
Absolutely the definition of a difference maker here in this first half. Clearly one of his quarterback's favorite targets in this game, and I figure he's going to draw a little more attention and coverage moving forward.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
I know, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it's second down. Now it's Jackson.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down. The heavy set out there, 3 tight ends in the formation for 3rd and 3.
Now it's Jackson. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete.
And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. 1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive, as this is 3rd and 10. Now Jackson. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to throw here. Going right side here, and that's complete. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. On play action, they'll throw.
Finds his man. That's Olave on the crossing route.
And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 35 yards.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
They'll throw now on the final play. Rolling to his right. And it's intercepted at the goal line.
And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half.
So we are at halftime here on a Monday night as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. A very one-sided first half. 17-0 our score as we get going in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the second half. It all starts with this drive right here. They get something good going, put some points on the board, they begin to have hope.
Jackson on first down. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Jackson buying time to his left. He finds his man, complete. That's Barrett.
And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
Again, Jackson going for it all. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Well, we saw that he had a lot of success last week throwing the football, but that hasn't translated to this week. But with his team behind, I don't expect him to back off. I expect him to keep firing.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Jackson to throw.
And this one dropped in the end zone. Looked like a touchdown, but not to be. And now it's 4th down.
And this is not going to be anywhere close. No good. Way wide to the left.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
2nd and 2. Forced out to his left. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. A gain there of 21 yards. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's got some space. And he lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Why we saw that field goal try a moment ago, I'll never understand. But as a result, this offense, they've got to be pumped. 1st and 10 in striking position already. One back in the backfield, and he loses the football a second time. He's able to get 6, a nice pickup down to the 21. Well, call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for. Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air.
And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now 4th down.
Once you get into the red zone, space is at a premium for receivers to try and operate and shake themselves free. That one's incomplete.
Drill, 52.
They'll drop to throw. Steps away to his left.
And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
At least this time he's getting hit after a positive play for his offense. The pressure was coming through yet again, but he certainly didn't stick around for the sack on this occasion. Found an escape route and ended up getting the first down before taking the hit.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year.
And the Explorers take advantage of the short field and finish it off with a quick touchdown. So another touchdown there, and even though we're still just here in the third quarter, kind of hard now to see them giving up this lead.
And this is just an offense that's imposing its will right now. You name it, they're able to do it. If you're the play caller, whatever you want to select is there. You want to run it, you want to throw it, pick a play, any play. They're rocking and rolling right now.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Here comes the return from the very back of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time.
And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. And the return will stop right around the 25.
Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
Hey, it's not the most spectacular play, but I think most teams will take that every single time for the first play of a drive. Begin the series with positive yardage and set yourself up for a very manageable second down.
Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. They'll set up to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete.
And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Right back to him on first down. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A great play there.
With his 17th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Explorers have opened the lead up to 30. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the 1st and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is, I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And some space here. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Touchdown! A 16-yard touchdown.
And the Black Knights get a bit closer.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. And they'll keep leaning on the running game back to the ground. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. On 2nd and goal. Jackson, and it's caught. Touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Black Knights are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to draw up those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6. Now the extra point try forthcoming. And he's got it as the score is now 31-7. I guess the last score wasn't enough for them. They want more. Here comes an onside kick. And this one travels out of bounds. So unsuccessful there on the onside kick try. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Now a handoff running through the middle. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Quick throw to Olave.
They find some open field here. And all the way in for the touchdown.
Chris Olave.
39 yards.
And the Explorers add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he will not bring it out. He'll just go down to a knee here for a touchback. And the ball will come out to the 25. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
And their 4-game win streak very much in jeopardy as they go to work here late with a 1st and 10.
And incomplete, he dropped it. Maybe a rookie mistake there. Second down.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. From the gun, Jackson. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've only converted once in 4 tries. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. They'll get this into the hands of Hodge. So just 3 yards on the completion there, and it'll be 2nd down. Jackson being chased out left.
And Jackson's so tough to stop. He's got a 1st down, and he gives himself up there at the end.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back.
And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. To throw is Jackson. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception.
Sauce Gardner picks it off.
And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
72 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Looking to throw. Flushed out right. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need,
Sean McVay unhappy on the sidelines visibly. He's made the decision to reach for the red flag. So that challenge not successful there, and that's going to cost him the first of his timeouts.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away.
So they'll accept that penalty, and that'll, of course, move the football up the field.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3. On 2nd and 7, Jackson. And now here is another interception. Jordan Brooks with it. And a terrific return there. They're finally able to corral him down near the 11-yard line.
But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Oh, it's a screen pass. It's complete. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 7 yards there on the first down screen play.
He's had success running the football, and this is more or less an extension of that because they drop it off to him on the screen. And I'll bet he's thinking to himself, if I didn't have to slow up a bit here in traffic, I could have really made something out of that one.
Second down, ball on the 3. First down marker at the 1-yard line.
Black shot.
Now back to throw. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. Taking it in from 4 yards out.
And the Explorers are going to be moving to 10-0 as they add on to this big lead.
They seemingly just continue to score at will, and as great as it's been for the offense, you got to feel for that defense down there.
I love how you use the word will, because both teams came into the game with the will to win, but one team has obviously imposed its will on the other and broken them, because what we're seeing right now, wow, that's a defense that's in tatters after what they faced in this ball game.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
From a couple yards deep, he'll break.
And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And they're already in the red zone. The 18-yard line is where they take over.
And in our meeting with the special teams coordinator, we asked him, what's your philosophy on bringing the ball out? Do you give him a red light? Do you keep him in? Green light, let him go? Let's see if he changes from green light to red light after that costly error.
Yeah, you know what I remember from that meeting? He brought donuts.
I like him.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah,
but he's not happy right now.
No, don't tell everyone how many I had.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they'll get him down right around the 16. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Watch the screen, watch the screen.
They'll look to throw here. On the move to his left. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, up big here in the 4th quarter, up really big. That pass and incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points. But they're not going to turn them down. They can continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, partner, nothing but praise from me for this offense. They have been tremendous all night long. They knew what they had to do to unlock the defense. And let's face it, this has been a master class in offensive football that we've been here to witness.
Back to throw. They'll roll him out right. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Another touchdown here in the 4th quarter, and Charles, I think we can start to consider that this undefeated streak of theirs is going to be safe for another week.
And partner, you don't make it this far into a season without a loss unless you're getting contributions from both sides of the ball, and sometimes even your special teams, and that's been true today. Each side helping guide them to this late lead.
Extra point splits the uprights, and this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And a throw there going to be incomplete.
We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. That one looks like he'll throw here. Out to his left.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Oh, he's been fun to watch in this one. He's made the correct reads all game long and helped stake his team a huge lead. Running, passing, he's made all the right decisions. But that wasn't the right read on that one. It falls incomplete.
Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. So on 4th down, Sean McVay going to send out the field goal unit. And his kick is absolutely perfect.
So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is dropped and incomplete. Well, there's a metaphor for how this one is gone as time has run out on this ball game.
Well, this was a blowout supported by both sides of the ball today, Charles. It would be easy to look at the offense and say, man, they were clicking, and they were, but don't forget about the effort by this defense as well.
Yeah, they weren't going to let up just because the lead was saved. They wanted to play as big a part in this game as their offense did in making this blowout. They needed to be noticed as well, and they played accordingly.
So for the